Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. There have been various new updates surrounding the old creepy freak Shannon Sharpe. If you don't know, Shannon Sharpe, who is a sports news podcaster and also a former NFL Hall of Famer, took a huge hit on his reputation when an OnlyFans model he was dealing with named Gabriella accused him of R-ing her and also choking her and controlling her, and she is suing for $50 million. Now, I did feel like this was a cash grab because of the timing, because Shannon was in the middle of inking a $100 million deal for his media company, and not to mention, Gabriella is being represented by the lawyer Tony Busby, who has been accused of being an ambulance chaser and extortionist. Not to mention, Gabriella was begging Shannon Sharpe for a baby multiple times because she wanted to find a way to get paid for the next 18 years. So at first I thought to myself, this really seems like a money grab. This seems like a setup. However, we all know that Shannon's old, creepy, nasty self should not have been messing with this 19, 20-year-old model. Shannon is in his mid-50s. He was warned by everybody. Don't be chasing after these young escorts because you are going to get caught up.
Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the...
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old bitch out there that can love you old.
You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
But you know, creepy old Shannon, he did not care. He wanted them young girls. He didn't want a stable relationship. He didn't want anybody respectable. He wanted somebody nasty like him. When his co-host from Nightcap, Chad Ochocinco, suggested that he date Yvonne Orji, Shannon was like, absolutely not. And we all know the reason why. I mean, Yvonne is black, first of all, so she doesn't make the cut. She also is a virgin, so she ain't nasty enough. Now, Shannon could teach her some things, but he doesn't want to because he's not attracted to her kind. Also, she's too old, and you know Shannon ain't going for that. He wants somebody young that he could turn out and have some control over. And Chad was trying to convince him. He was saying, listen, somebody like Yvonne would be good for you. But Shannon was not trying to hear all that.
Because she would be perfect for you and what you have going on. Not only is she walking the path of righteousness, but she has the vision that can open the door where you trying to get to. Now, what you think about that?
I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. Send me Miss Nasty B. What her name was? I don't want nobody walking straight and narrow.
Oh, come on.
Nah,
so,
I want a sinner.
Listen, I thought we as
that's what I'm looking for.
We always talk about, this is what I want for you, man. I'm telling you, this will prepare you into a world you've never been before. You need a woman like that in your life.
Yeah. Give me Miss Nasty B. I have the bottle right there by my bed.
Anybody ever told you look like Miss Netta?
They do sometimes.
Okay.
I don't get up. It used to bother me, but guess what? It don't stop them checks from coming in. And it don't stop them young ones from opening up. And it don't stop them young ones from opening up.
Shannon is a mess. He really is. But he was warned. He was warned about his dating choices. But no, he wanted a sex worker and he wanted somebody barely legal. And he has nobody to blame but himself. And the truth of the matter is, no mature quality woman like a Yvonne or anybody else would take him seriously. They just wouldn't. Now, there were some receipts that were released from Gabriella and her lawyer, Tony, and I will say these receipts are pretty damning. Now, this doesn't mean that Shannon can't fight against it, but I will say it makes him look crazy. Now, it was reported that Shannon and Gabriella had over 100 BDSM sexual encounters over the 2 years they were dating. And these encounters were consensual. They were initiated a lot of times by Gabriella herself because she was telling him to abuse her, choke her, tie her up, do all this and that. And Shannon was down for it with his old freaky self. But there was a point when Gabriella felt like Shannon was too rough, and she claimed that he R'd her back in October of last year. And this is kind of the tricky thing about BDSM relationships. It is hard to tell whether a person is consenting or not, because a lot of times in these type of encounters, People get aroused by violence and dominance. And no doesn't always mean no unless a safe word is used. And a safe word has to be used if a person is feeling too uncomfortable. But even after that essay incident happened, Gabriella was still trying to sleep with Shannon, and she was sending him freaky text messages. And she was also asking him for money. She wanted $25K per butt cheek. And somebody can look at this and think, well, is she telling the truth about Shannon R-ing her? Because why would she reach back out to him to sleep with him after that happened? And it is possible that maybe Shannon got too rough. And I think Gabriella started to grow resentment towards him. I mean, she was doing all this nasty stuff with this old man. He wasn't compensating her in the way that she wanted. He was comfortable talking down to her because that was a part of their whole role play. Also, he messed around with other women, including Michele, who he was smashing on IG Live. And according to the text messages, Gabriella was really upset about that. She was upset when he started messing with Michele. So I think after a while, she was like, man, I'm tired of being treated this way. I need my money. Pay me. And she started recording their encounters, which I do believe was a plan for her to use for her lawsuit. But it does make Shannon look guilty when you hear this audio.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just going to like get mad at and you're just going to hang up on me. So I feel like...
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what the shit you did to me.
Shannon sounds crazy in that clip. And he might have thought that they were doing role play or race play, whatever, but that is not how Gabriella and her lawyer Tony Busby are presenting it. Also, Gabriella said that Shannon R'd her again in January of this year, and she presented this text message saying, "But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my butt, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. I don't know how to process this." And Shannon responded by saying, "Can I call you later?" So that in itself looks crazy. It looks bad. It all looks bad. And not to mention, her lawyer, Tony Busby, said that Shannon offered her $10 million in hush money before she went public with this lawsuit. Now, Shannon's attorney said that he was being blackmailed, and usually blackmail victims pay money to keep certain information from coming out to protect their reputation. And maybe this is what Shannon was trying to do. He was in the middle of trying to get a $100 million deal, so the last thing he needed was for this lawsuit to go public. But at the same time, him offering her hush money doesn't make him look innocent at all. It makes him look like he is trying to hide something. And apparently he has a lot to hide, because it's rumored that he settled multiple lawsuits with women that he was dealing with. He even had to pay off one woman that he was working with on the show Undisputed. She was a production assistant, and he allegedly choked her out. Now, Shannon's team is saying that it didn't happen that way, but Shannon and Fox had to quietly settle with the accuser for several $100,000. So he's been in the situation where he had to pay off some women, and also he was being sued by another woman named Michele Evans. And this ain't the same Michele that he was smashing on IG Live. This is a different Michele. She was in a relationship with Shannon for 10 years, and she did talk about it on Unwind with Tasha K.
What was y'all sex life like?
He loved to have his booty played with. That part might not have been everyday sex, but other than that, it's just...
Well, so like you put fingers and tongue in his butt?
Yeah. You know, there were times where I wondered if maybe he was bi.
Do you think you kind of opened up his butt To new experiences?
No, I can't imagine because he already liked it.
Tasha K is wild, but in 2010, Michele did allege that Shannon AR'd her. She said that she confronted him about his unfaithfulness and the argument escalated, and he allegedly forced her to her knees and made her give him oral. Also, she claims that he penetrated her without her consent and delivered a chilling message. He said he was going to make it so no other man would want her, allegedly. And she said he threatened to ruin her if she told what happened. Now, she did file a restraining order against him, and this actually caused Shannon to step down from his job at CBS Sports at the time, which is kind of looking like a pattern. I mean, he recently had to step down from his job with ESPN because of this current lawsuit he's dealing with. And also, the lawsuit he has with Michele is still active. And even though she kind of is a sketchy character herself, she did go to prison for trying to kill her husband. So she's kind of a nutcase, but two things could be true. She could be crazy, but she could also be telling the truth about Shannon. But Shannon has nobody to blame but himself. I mean, these are the type of women that he likes. He likes women with questionable character. It doesn't matter. As long as they're white, they're right. Also, he likes very, very young women because he is an old creep and he just doesn't know how to control himself. His lust got the best of him and now he's about to lose it all. At least it appears that way. If more women come out, then he's screwed for sure. But the current cases against him, he might be able to fight. However, this has hurt his reputation in a major, major way, and no reputable company would ever want to work with him again because he is a liability. It's unfortunate, but Shannon should have listened to all those people who were telling him to settle down with somebody who had no drama, somebody who was in his age bracket, somebody who could elevate him. But no, he said he wanted a sinner.
I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. Send me Miss Nasty B. What her name was?
Anyway, tell what you all think about this mess down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.